Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another ABS Daily News with your hockey coach, your coach, FRENCHY. Today, episode number 186. What do you have to do, coach, today? First of all, recap game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres. Really bad game. I want to talk a little bit between Juraj Slafkovsky versus Tage Thompson. And before we start, we would like to invite you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and please leave me a comment after you watch this video. The first subject of the day, guys, is the recap game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres. I can tell you one thing. I found two words for describe this game. Exactly, flush it. That's it, that's all. Nothing else you can do. It's, look, nothing worked from the beginning to the end. The goaltender, the defenseman, the forward, and the power play 0 and 6. You cannot do anything about this. They are going to have some bad game during the season when you play 82 games. This is the one really. It took 19 games before Montreal Canadiens from the beginning of the game to the end. They have a bad game. Everybody played bad yesterday. And that's it, I can tell you this. Just flush it like Martin St. Louis. He laughed at the press conference yesterday. He said, look, we cannot sit here and thinking and figure out. We just have to flush it and be ready for our next game. Then the good news about Montreal Canadiens, Cole Caulfield scored his 12th goal of the season, and they'll be back on the ice right away tonight against the Columbus Blue Jackets. So this may be the best thing happening for them. So they don't have to stay and thinking about that game against the Buffalo Sabres. They have to focusing already on the next game. On the flip side, guys, this game against the Buffalo Sabres, they have 3 goals. They gave less at 2 minutes, 17 seconds. This is a record in the history of Montreal Canadiens to give 3 goals rapidly at the beginning of the game. They have already 4 goals, and we never reached the 3rd minute of the game. Remember, guys, at the beginning of the season, what we said, team rebuilding, we are back normal. And that's happening right now. I understand you guys, they have 9-1, they're looking good. Look, guys, the last 11 games, 47 goals. Again, 47. Cannot do anything about that. At the beginning of the season, the goaltender played over the head, maybe. The rookies was looking great, and the first line was awesome. But when the first line is not there, it's not easy for the rest of the team. They are back where they are. I know some of you don't like the analytic numbers. That's what some people told me yesterday in my chat. But at the end of the day, the analytic number does not lie about the performance of the team. You don't set to use this to change the line, or change the roster, or everything like that. But at some point, the number powerful, and it gives you exactly what the team looked like at the end of the day. That's the reason they have analytic in sport. At the end of the day, we are a team rebuilding, guys. And it will happen again. Mistake, learning process all the time. That's the way we are this year. The rookie learning, the veterans learning, and Martin St. Louis and his staff is learning. And that's what it is. We are a team and rebuilding. That's how it works in hockey. So we have to be patient here and not to be too much negative. Some of you are. Albert should play. Whiteman should not play. Iris should be out. Kovacevic could be in. It's not a matter. The key is to be sure they learn and they get better every single day as a team together and on individual players. And that's what is the most important thing. But at the end of the day, we are a team are going to finish between 25th to 32. And hopefully, on my eyes, 27 to 32. Possibly with other teams struggle a little bit more what my expectation was. Possibly they can slip between 25th, 26th, 27. But again, that's what we are. And originally, I would say to you 29 to 32. But right now, the Vancouver struggle, the Columbus Blue Jackets struggle, and we have other teams right now in the Pacific Division have really a difficult year. We have to accept who they are. And right now, we are on the easy schedule of the year. The Montreal Canadiens, and they are right now 2-3-0 the last 5 games. And 2 of the 5 games, guys, are winning. 1 in shootout and 1 on overtime. Again, a bottom team in NHL. Complete, guys, my first subject of the day. And let's move on now, guys, my second subject. My next subject of the day, guys, is Juraj Slafkovsky opportunity. Look, yesterday he played 14 minutes 22 with Christian Dvorak and Brendan Gallagher. He had 2 shots on the net. He had 4 minutes 23 TOI on the power play. It was okay game, not a great game, not a bad game. He's still who he is, and that's okay. It's a learning process for him. Remember, guys, I want to talk about today Slafkovsky versus Tage Thompson. Thompson guy is a giant, 6'7". He's a 26 overall pick on 2016. He was involved in the trade again around O'Reilly a couple of years ago. At the beginning with the St. Louis Blues guys, it took him 3 years. He played bottom six, never played over 60 games during the 3 years. After that, he went with the Buffalo Sabres under Granato. He put him on the top six. When he was playing bottom six, guys, he said he need to keep this simple. He doesn't want to make mistake, and he understood play behind Tarasenko and Brennan Shan. That's normal when you're rookie to take a time. He has last season got 38 goals with the Buffalo Sabres. Got a new contract at $7.1 million. And this year already, right now, he has 26 points in 19 games. He has 23 points, guys, in the last 12 games. Just an idea how he looked like Thompson. What is really good for him is his puck protection, strong. He have a lot of great strength with his leg. He have an amazing great hands. He really shifty. He used this kind of two drag like anybody can do in this league with a quick release. And of course, he have a great one-timer shot. And that's the reason why he scored many goals in NHL. But again, at the end of the day, guys, you have no secrets in hockey. You have to go with the confidence from not only the players himself, but from the coaching staff. And that's what he got in Buffalo Sabres. This all about, like he said, about the process. And it takes time. Some players take a little bit longer. Some players take a little bit shorter. It takes time. Some players, it take over 3, 4, 5 years. Slafkovsky guy is 18 years old. Some of them, like Zuski, show up at 20 years old. Caulfield show up in the NHL at 20 years old. Slafkovsky, at 18 years old, is the only one from the draft 2022 is NHL right now. We know Shane Wright play in the AHL at this moment. But again, we have to remember he's only young players. He will get there. We just need to be patient. That's the reason he play bottom six. That's normal process as a young players to start at the bottom six. Lafreniere had been there for 3 years with the Rangers. I don't know what Slafkovsky would become in the future, but as the fans, we need to understand the process, what it takes for the young players. Slafkovsky said the biggest thing he needs to learn is to manage his TOI on every shift. He said in the past, when he played in Finland or in Slovakia, he said, look, when I was about 35, 40 seconds at the end of my shift, I will try to do another push on offensive zone example. And then if I was caught, I can come back in the defensive zone and I can stay there for a little bit longer. But in NHL, I cannot do this anymore. He said, this is a really most difficult thing I need to learn to controlling my shift every single time I go on the ice. Really mature players, guy. Really smart players. And he loves who he is right now with the Montreal Canadiens. As a fans, we just need to be patient, not only with Slafkovsky, with Albert, with Iris, with Coley, with Kovacevic, with all the rookies they have. And then finally, to be patient with the team. It's going to be worse and worse for the next couple of months with the Montreal Canadiens. This is the end of my second subject of the App Daily News today. Here we go. Short video again. This was a recap game between the Montreal Canadiens versus the Buffalo Sabres. And then Slafkovsky versus Tage Thompson. And finally, I want to remind you, Montreal Canadiens play against the Columbus Blue Jackets. The video, it was really early this morning. I don't have any update. The only thing I assume, Montembeault is going to be between the pipe for the Montreal Canadiens. That's conclude my other video of the App Daily News. But before we leave, we want to remind you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to our Canadian show, leave me comments, tell me what you think about Montreal Canadiens. And finally, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, blessing Wednesday, everybody.